No, this is GS Kumar from the city of Bangalore, LinkedIn marketing consultant and trainer. I help MSME startups, job seekers to get 5 to 10 appointments every single month to crack their sales activities and MNC interviews. That's what I do. My background is into recruitment for 15 plus years, and later I started my own business in terms of LinkedIn marketing training, job hunt coaching, those kind of stuff. So last 8 years been very successful and going forward in a very elevated model on this business. Now, coming to this topic, how to do a 8-minute business presentation. First of all, why you should master the 8 minutes business presentation. There are 4 different points. I'll give one by one. Number one, studies show that the average human attention span is just 8 seconds. Number one. Number two, the first 30 seconds of your presentation will determine whether your audience will listen to the rest of the slides, or they'll get bored or tuned out. That depends on the first 30 seconds. Third, according to research, 90% of sales presentations fail because they are too long, too complex, or fail to address the customer's real problem. 90% of sales presentation. Fourth point, networking events and business forums often give you 5 to 8 minutes, like how in OBN also we give 8 minutes presentation where 25 people gave presentations last time. Typically, every networking forum, every business forum will give 5 to 8 minutes presentation to project your business, explaining, educating, and all that. So every single second is very valuable and counted. Now, the harsh truth, if I have to say, even if you have the best product in the world, if your message and communication is not clear or compelling and structured, you will lose potential clients, investors, and even potential referrals from your own team. That's a harsh truth. We'll have to understand and make it underline and conscious, wherein the product might be good, service might be good, but if I'm not able to communicate in a logical sense, sequence, structure, people may not understand. That's the reality which we have to face. Now, why only few people get referrals? You must have seen, you could have attended a lot of events, and there are only few people who could have got quick referrals. Okay, I know him, I'll connect with you. Those kind of things. You could have seen by your own witnessing when we are beginners and we went for a presentation. A lot of people could have done, but only few people got references. So what separates from this other people who are giving referrals is because a structured, engaging, and problem-solving presentation. That's the reason very few people will gain those kind of reference. Now, what is structured, engaging, and problem-solving presentation? First one, simplicity. Simplicity means it should be easy to understand. Number two, engagement. People will connect only with real problems. Number three, clarity. Your audience should know exactly what you are offering. And number four, call to action. What should they do next? To summarize, simplicity, engagement, clarity, call to action. SCCC. So that is a kind of structure sequence we have to maintain, and when we are preparing PPT, we will have to underline this fact and have a checklist whether these are all checklists is being covered in our presentation. Now I'll jump into the 5 set of frameworks. First section. The first section should be like the hook, which you can take 30 to 60 seconds to grab attention. Now, why this section is important? Your first 30 to 60 seconds decide whether your audience are listening or bored. So you need to grab attention immediately because there are sequence of presentation. In OBN also we have 25 presentations where people might forget quickly what is your product service, everything. So to grab attention of everybody, this first 30 to 60 seconds has to be used. Now, how to create the strong hook? It can be you can be start as a question or a very very bold statement or relatable scenario, make it very very personal. So if the audience relates, they'll pay attention. So keep it very very short and impactful. So 30 to 60 seconds should be grabbing attention. That is the time. First minute, like 30 to 60 seconds time, you have to use only to grab the attention with the hook. Now, what are the common mistakes entrepreneurs make? And I'm sure you could have also witnessed a lot of mistakes done by presenters. So, first and foremost will be starting with a very, very long introduction about themselves, or using generic or overused opening lines, or not making it relevant to the audience. Now, in this scenario, what all checklist you have to do? Ask yourself, does your first line grab attention? Number two, is it relevant to your audience? Whomever is coming to the room, whomever is listening to you, is it relevant to your audience? And number three, does it create curiosity? So these three questions we will have to ask ourselves in order to make the first 30 to 60 seconds is really really creating a hook or creating an attention to the audience. Let's say my own example, LinkedIn marketing agency. Now, how many people will understand what is LinkedIn marketing agency? Like, many people may know digital marketing, Facebook marketing, WhatsApp marketing. So they got used to this kind of a marketing word, but LinkedIn marketing might be something new for them, for which I have to create an attention. So to give an example, if I have to start a hook, I will start like this following example. Did you know that 80% of B2B leads today come from LinkedIn? But most businesses don't even optimize their profiles correctly. In the next 8 minutes, I will show I will show you how we helped an IT firm in Bangalore triple their LinkedIn leads in just 3 months. So with this 15 to 20 words, I have to grab the attention because it creates numbers, statistics on 80% of B2B leads. And within a timeline, that means just 3 months, how I have achieved that kind of detail will create a hook. Now I'll take second example, which is into insurance. Let's say it's a health insurance business. So the example can go like this. What if I told you that 70% of Indian families are just one medical emergency away from financial crisis? In the next 8 minutes, I will show you how a simple 500 per month insurance plan protected a Delhi based family from a 10 lakh hospital bill and how you can do the same. Now, this is the kind of one way of doing a hook where we creating attention towards statistics. It can be multiple methods. It can be an anecdote. It can be a quote from a very famous person about the product or business, or an example, multiple things. But I have shown just a statistical based information to create a hook. With this, we'll get an attention from this first section, like 30 to 60 seconds we'll have to use only for this. Now coming to second section, this is a section you will have to use for define the problem, which you can take another 60 seconds. Okay, now why this section is important? If your audience doesn't see the problem, they won't care about your solution. So you must create urgency and make it relatable. So we will come up with a lot of product and service where it may not solve the real time problem, right? So, and people may not understand what the problems also. Okay, so it's business owner. We have to define the problem statement in the market and how many people are suffering from that problem. All that we'll have to define so that it gives an attention, it gives educative information to the viewers or audience who are in the room so that they'll get an understanding. Okay, this is also a great problem to solve. Now, when we are preparing how to define the problem clearly, there are three-step process. First one, use real statistics to prove the problem exists. Maybe you can Google, use ChatGPT or Quora, multiple forums are available, and try to include the real statistics. Newspaper news also fine. Number two, tell a very, very relatable story or a scenario which you have come across in your life. Number third, explain how the problem affects the target audience. Now, you will be catering to one particular target audience. And once you define the problem, just explain how this problem is influencing and making suffering from your target audience to make it very, very clear that the problem is existing and this is the real time scenario with statistics, backed up with statistics. That's the kind of definition we'll have to give in the next 60 seconds. Now, a couple of common mistakes which all business owners, including me, do is first one, describing the problem very, very vague, too vague information where it is not backed up by data. Number two, making the problem too technical or too complex, where the audience are not able to understand what is the problem itself. Number three, not showing how the problem impact the audience. Okay, now you explain the problem, but if you don't tell how the problem impacts the audience in a larger way, then they will not treat the problem as a bigger problem. They'll say, oh, okay, this is also one of the just problem, and okay, it can be solvable by multiple options. That element will get triggered if you are not telling how the problem impacts your audience. So I'm sure everybody will have your own ideal customer profile, target audience, buyer persona, addressable market and all that. So if you are not telling how it is impacting the whole community of target audience, then it doesn't make sense. So it will not give an educational element to the audience, and they will feel like, okay, this is also just one of the product, and it might solve competing with 10 other products also. That is a mindset which will pop up during the presentation. Now, what kind of checklist we'll have to use defining the problem? Number one, have you backed up with facts, statistics again? Number two, is it relatable to your audience? And number three, does it create urgency? Now, all this, define the problem impacting your audience, all this you have spoken. But what happens if you are not able to create an urgency? Then it becomes very, very vague. So create an urgency that this is a very, very vulnerable situation or a large problem which needs to be addressed very, very immediately. All those things we'll have to tell during this defining the section time, which has about 60 seconds. Now I'll take an example of preventive health checkups. Now we have all gone for health checkups, master checkup, all those things. Now let's say he is the business owner who is representing preventive health checkups. So I'll take an example like he is defining the problem, how he can define. So it goes like this. India is called the diabetes capital of the world. Over 100 million Indians are diabetic and another 136 million are pre-diabetic. That's nearly a population of Maharashtra at risk. Many people ignore early symptoms like frequent thirst and tiredness. But did you know that untreated diabetes can lead to blindness, kidney failure, and heart disease? Now, if you look at this example, it creates a larger volume of target audience who are suffering from diabetic, and it is also creating an emergency element for call to action by telling, did you know that untreated diabetes can lead to blindness, kidney failure, and heart disease? Now, this is something many people are may not be aware, because they'll treat their diabetes in a very casual way and may not go for health checkup. So, as a business owner who's running a clinic or running a hospital with preventive healthcare checkups, this is a kind of sequential and logical data backed up information we have to use for defining the problem statement itself, so that your audience can understand what is the bigger issue which they are facing and what could impact in their life if at all they are not doing health checkups, or if at all they are not doing checking on their diabetes, all those things. Now, relating to your product and service and business, try to create this definition of the problem backed by data and statistics, which is a main problem for your target audience. Then only the huge impact can be created. Otherwise, it will be very, very casual. Coming to third section. Now, this is where we have to introduce our solution. So for this, you can take 2 minutes. That means 120 seconds. Now, 1 minute we have used for hook, 1 minute we have used for defining the problem. 2 minutes we can use for introducing our solution, because it will be like little detailed one where we have to pitch our solution to the market for the answer to the solution. Now, in the previous one, you have created problem is very clear, definition, you have given a clear definition with statistics. Now introduce your business as the best solution for this problem. Now keep it very, very simple, jargon free, and benefit driven elements during the session, because after introducing the problem, you could have triggered the impact and risk element to your audience. Now the best solution, if you are introducing, it should be very, very simple. It should not be the jargons which you are using, technical jargons which you are using in your industry may not be relatable to your audience. So that conscious step we'll have to take. Now, what are the common mistakes which entrepreneurs does here is talking too much about features instead of benefits. They'll talk, okay, this is good, that is good, my product can solve this feature, that feature. So we could have all seen this feature based explanation. Second, using technical jargon which confuses people, whether it will really solve a problem or it is taking a very long time to solve a problem. That element is becoming confusion to the audience, which we'll have to clearly avoid. Third one, and most crucial, not highlighting the USP, unique selling point. Now, there are a lot of people who will be doing the same business on whatever you are doing. So there might be 10 people in the room also who are offering the same service, same product. There is no difference, but try to create a unique selling point so that they get an attention. Oh, okay, for this reason, I have to buy this product. Now, when we are preparing PPT, what are all the checklists which we have to do for this kind of section? Number one, is it clear and simple? Number two, have you highlighted your USP? That is most crucial. Number three, does it sound exciting to the audience? These are the three checklists which we have to do during our presentation of offering the solution to the market. So I'll take an example of, let's say, food supplement business. So the example can go like this. Our plant-based supplements provide essential nutrients like omega-3, vitamin D, and B12, helping busy professionals stay energized and boost immunity naturally. Now, somebody from food and food supplement can give their solution to the market, addressable market. That means ICP, addressable market, they have mentioned like helping busy professionals. They are not saying my product is for everyone. They are creating a addressable market and telling helping busy professionals by plant based food supplements. That's the idea which they want to create to the room, so that they stand out from their entire crowd, because there are a lot of people who come with food supplements, healthcare products, all those things. So in order to differentiate, we have to differentiate with the addressable market and USP which we are offering to the addressable market. That's how we can differentiate the product. Coming to fourth section, showing proof. So this is also with 60 to 120 seconds we can take time, because this is something building trust to your potential audience, because we will be very very new to the audience. They may not know us, they may not know how effectively we have created a product or service. So only by building trust we can create some awareness that this guy is very very genuine, have USP, have experience in this product. All that we have to showcase, because we have to understand the fact people trust results and not promises. So show that your product and service actually is working to your addressable market, and show the benefit or um trust, increase the trust by certification, whatever awards you have received. Show some proof so that people believe that you can solve the problem, and you have already solved quite a number of problem for your potential audience. Now this is where one of the structured things comes. We call it LCD, little chunk of details, or least common denominator, whatever they call it in a different community. So this makes it very very approach. This LCD approach is making very very simple in terms of specificity and simplicity. That's the rule of this LCD. So instead of trying to cover every service or product you offer, like every entrepreneur will have 10 products, 15 products, but during presentation, take only one piece of your vertical or product, and pick up only very, very small item of vertical which can be explained in 8 minutes. Okay. So which would be digestible for your business and explain in a way that is very, very easy to grasp and memorable. Otherwise, after 25 presentation, everybody will forget what you have offered to the market. So this could be selection of service should be very, very specific service and have unique process, or you can tell about client success story, or a very, very niche problem you can solve. So that element you take for 8 minutes presentation and explain with a proof, so that people understand that you have already solved this problem for thousands of people. Now, the goal is to educate your members or audience in the room, so they can confidently spot referral opportunities for you in their daily interactions, because everybody are coming across with different people, or even in their house there will be your target audience. So if you are not able to educate this element of your product and how it can benefit, or how you can solve the problem with proper proof, the translation sequence, because after listening to your presentation they have to talk to their friends, colleagues, and family members, everything. Now if they are translating your presentation, it will be only 25% of what they have observed. So make it a point that you give a very very minimal information, but the problem which you are addressing should be very very relatable. Only then the referral can be made, and the idea is to make them speak about our product and service. That's very crucial. So if you are making things very very complicated, they may not remember. So you'll have to create an imagination that this is the problem and this is the success stories I have created, and I can solve this problem in a very best way comparing to my competitors, something other like. We'll have to create that situation. So couple of examples I'll show you. One will be like, there are a lot of financial advisors who say a lot of complicated things where end of the day we may not understand, because they talk about the industry language which common people may not understand. So if you are a financial advisor, instead of saying I am a financial advisor, you might focus on little chunk of details. For example, I help small business owners set up retirement plans. Now, this can be one of his product vertical where he is addressing to a addressable market, that is business owners, small business owners especially. Now take this particular thing for 8 minutes and explain, so that you get a very very um, easy referrals, because every business owners are in line with other business owners, are regularly meet other business owners and all that. Now if you say I help small business owners set up retirement plans, that will influence their mind in terms of referring you, rather than generally saying I'm a financial advisor, give me someone who's struggling from financial services, all that will be more complicated to understand to the audience. Now the second example is for a digital marketer. There are a lot of digital marketing people in various communities who say I do digital marketing, I do Facebook ads, Google ads and all that, but people may not relate like what exactly he will do, what kind of solution he will provide and all that. So instead of saying digital marketer, you can say, I create email campaigns that boost your customer engagement. Okay, which is a little chunk of details on what you can offer to the potential audience and how it can benefit to the potential audience. So whenever they think of email campaigns and all that, they will remember that somebody who's a digital marketing person has spoken about this. Okay, otherwise it is too large to digest, and we will not able to imagine or relate to the digital marketing concepts which he is speaking about, and it will be um, a very very vague statement when we talk about digital marketing. Now the final part will be on call to action. Here also you can take the last 2 minutes, that means 120 seconds of your last bit of 8 minutes presentation. Now here you can take up guiding your audience on what step they have to take after this presentation. So a great presentation is useless without a clear next step or call to action. Okay, now you could have prepared last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month for preparing the deck, creating statistics, collecting a lot of information, images from the net, everything you could have done. But if there is no call to action, the entire efforts go waste. So the call to action also should be very, very simple for the audience to take up, rather than having a very very hard process, multiple steps involved in action steps will making them very very complicated. So call to action, please be very very conscious that it should be very very easy to the audience to make. That's the effort which we have to put while we are mentioning the call to action. Now let's say I'll take the same example of food supplement business, where it says, do you want to boost your energy and immunity naturally? Try our 100% organic supplement today. For members, we are offering a 10% discount. Visit my website and use code OBN10. Now, this is a kind of one of the example where we can say that try our organic supplement today and 10% discount, so that it triggers for a what you call to action from the audience, or it will be referred to the target audience, wherein they can say, okay, you know what, this is the product I have seen. If you go to their website, there are 10% offer is available. So I'm sure a lot of people spoken about discount and other things, where any very very premium company, when they are offering discounts and all that, immediately we'll start sharing with our friends and family members and say, oh, you know what, this company, this e-commerce company has given offers for this month, go and buy it, go and grab it. Because the moment we say discount and all that, it will be spread. So make sure the call to action is something where it will be spoken from your audience and other people, so that it creates some referrals, it creates some action for your product, so that it can be a conversation starter for your product and service. Otherwise, whatever 6 minutes presentation you do, and you lose out on the last 2 minutes, So there is no point. So we'll be keep on repeating the same 8 minutes presentation every single time with no other action from your audience. So that's completely a disaster for the entire presentation. Rather, make it a conscious effort for your call to action, which gives about 2 minutes of your time. So make your 2 minutes in a very, very best and countable method. Now, this is also comes with gives and asks with every business forums. You could have seen ask and give or gives and ask along with the call to action. So this how to know about this ask and referrals effectively is the key to maximize your networking success, because based on that only you will be trusted, you will be discussed. The conversation starter is based on your ask and gives. So make sure you have a proper checklist of your ask and gives, and it should be very, very specific, clear, and your gives also be very, very clear. It should educate your group in a way that builds trust. It should not be like, okay, I have someone to refer for this product. Rather than, if we have a very, very premium clientele and all that, the trust starts. Okay, I know the chairman of this college, I know the president of this particular company, something like that. If you say, then the trust also builds when we are giving something, and that can be a conversation starter for a lot of people, that he might be looking for a dream client, but when you are giving that particular aspect of giving session, then it will start a conversation with you which will have a mutual benefit. So gives and asks should be very, very clear, specific, so that it can be a conversation starter in the networking room. So what are the mistakes to avoid while ask and give? So focus more on specific, actionable, and memorable also, because you want members to know exactly who to connect with you and why to connect. So three mistakes which we have to avoid. One is being too vague. Let's say people are saying, okay, I love to meet anyone who needs help with their business. Now, how people can relate to that anyone is no one, right? So that way we'll have to avoid the mistake of anyone kind of things, or everybody is my target audience, refer me someone. These are all the statements which many entrepreneurs do. I also have done this mistake. So rather, how to avoid this? It lacks focus on one particular target audience, which will not stick into their mind. Okay. Now, second mistake, what we do is asking for too much at once. Like, I'm looking for small business owners, homeowners, students, family, friends who need financial advice. Now, this is a kind of statement which entrepreneurs make, where they give multiple target audience, which we don't remember. Third mistake is not giving context, especially asking. So during ask, we'll say, okay, I need a referral to a dentist. Now, everybody may have contact with the dentist, but if you are not providing any context on why you want to connect with the dentist, then people will not trust you and give you, because this is a authenticity which they have created, trust they have created with the dentist, and just like that, they will not contact of a dentist. So make it clear on why you want the connection and what is the purpose of it, so that they clearly understand the intention and create an urgency to make the connection. Otherwise, the referrals will not pop up. Now, what are the right examples we can give when we are specific and targeted? Okay, how to ask? Let's go with an example. I'm looking to connect with a young couple buying their first home in the next 6 months. I'm a mortgage broker who simplifies the loan process for first timers. Now, why it works? It's clear who you want. That means your addressable market, that is your young couples. And when is the timeline? The timeline also he is mentioning. That means next 6 months. And what do you do in a very, very simple way? That is also has been given. That means simplify loans. So three things is been given as a clear statement. That means young couples next 6 months simplify loans. Now I'm just repeating this example for your reference. I'm looking to connect with a young couple buying their first home in the next 6 months. I'm a mortgage broker who simplifies the loan process for first timers. So this is specific, targeted to the audience, and gives a clear indication of what you do. So that much level of um, simplified asking we should have, so that it creates an awareness to the market on whom to connect to the right audience. Second one, actionable with a trigger. Example, I would love an introduction to a small business owner who's frustrated with their current website. I am a web designer who specializes in fast, affordable redesigns. Is it making simple? Because we could have seen a lot of web development folks, website development companies in our business meetings in the past, communities, networking events. Now they will say, okay, I am a web development company. If somebody is interested, let me know. That is the kind of statement they will make. But rather look at the definition on how he is giving an example. I would love an introduction to a small business owner who's frustrated with their current website. I am a web designer who specializes in fast, affordable redesigns. That is the level of simplicity and specificity he is giving, so that it's very, very easy to understand whom to refer. The moment you hear that frustrated with your website, it immediately recollects our own website, right? So everybody have a website, so it will be relatable, and whomever business owners we are talking, they'll also discuss about their own website which is in problem. So when somebody is making the statement, it's very, very easy for other people to refer on this particular business owner and entrepreneur on how to refer him for a small business owner. If you are not able to define this kind of thing, give with a memorable, with a story. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people will have a story of your past customer, so explain that. Example, last week I helped a baker increase online orders by 30% with a new ad campaign. I would love to meet another local retailer who wants similar results. I am a digital marketer. Now, a lot of digital marketing people, they say, okay, I provide leads, these, that, that becomes very, very vague, and trust factor may not go, and referrals cannot be created. The moment he says, I helped a baker increase online orders, they might think about his friend who is a local retailer, or somebody who's running bakery. All that will be coming to their mind in their imagination, where it can generate an easy referral. Now that's how we will have to create ask and gives, so that it's very easy and productive for both of us, the presenter and audience. It should be benefitable and should create a lot of referrals for both of us. So that's how it should be done. Now coming to last part of it, the biggest presentation mistakes which everybody do is talking too much about ourselves, our family, and 20-year-old legacy company with a great service. All that is not at all needed. So they need how you can solve the problem. That's the first thing. So explain those definitions rather than telling a family story, backstory of how you started. That is all not at all needed in the 8 minutes. Second thing, the very, very crucial thing is the energy levels. The energy levels will translate and trigger the audience on how enthusiastic you are in your business. So that's most crucial in terms of communication, because if your product is very strong and if the energy levels are very, very low, then they understand that you're not confident with your own product and service. So that's the imagination we will be triggering to the audience, that he's just a beginner and not somebody who's expert in this field and not served in the market. He just coming and opening his business only today. All this mind triggers will happen if the energy levels are very, very low. So somebody who's very, very confident and created history in the past, success stories in the past, he will be very, very confident. His tone will be at a very, very higher level. His energy level will be very, very high level. So I'm sure you must have all seen the difference between the energy levels between the presenters on how they are projecting their product and service. So the beginner will have a very, very less confidence, but the seasoned guy will have a lot more confidence in delivering this. So energy level, make sure you are smiling while talking. Okay, so that brings a lot of energy levels in the room, and make sure you're enthusiastic for your own product. That's more crucial. The third element is a lot of new product and software comes with a lot of jargon. So let's say we provide AI powered recruitment solutions. Now, how many people can understand this and try to give referrals? Rather than say we help companies hire faster, cutting time from 30 days to 10. That makes the problem very, very relatable, because everybody will have problems in their recruitment solutions, and they are keep on searching for people who can reduce their effort. Now, if you say we help companies hire faster, cutting time from 30 days to 10, then that relates to their problem statement and create an imaginary aspect that you can solve that particular solution. So that builds a conversation starter with you, rather than telling we provide AI powered recruitment solutions. The final bit of it is there is no call to action. A lot of people will say, okay, now presentation is over, do you have any questions, or let me know if you are interested, something like that, which is very, very vague, which will not trigger for a conversation. Rather, tell them, DM me for business growth for a free consultation. Okay, or look, visit my website and use this code. Something or other clear call to action should be made, so that people take actions. If people are not taking action, the entire presentation goes waste. So that's the most crucial factor. And the most predominant factor in this 8 minutes presentation is keeping the time, because there are a lot of people who are moderators will have to rush the presenter on 8 minutes. I'm sure everybody have seen last time also, like how we have been rushing the 8 minutes. So make sure you're practicing at home and understand your PPT slides, how much time is taking. So max to max 7 minutes, 8 minutes it is completing, or do a mock presentation with your family members so that you understand how much time is taking. So if you don't know how much time is taking for the PPT slides, then the clear call to action will be missed, because you could have spent 8 minutes only to define the problem or telling about your business. So that makes the entire efforts waste, if at all you're not completing on a sharp time. So multiple practices, running your PPT slides, and making with a timer will give you a checklist of understanding in how much time I can close, so that on the day of the presentation you complete less than 8 minutes also with a clear call to action. So if you rework on all this sequence, like defining the problem, hook, solution, USP, and all that, I think 8 minutes is very, very sufficient. Because the problem with a lot of business owners is they project 10 different products, or giving a very, very detailed picture about the product that consumes a lot of time. Rather, make it or select one minor problem or minor vertical which can solve to an addressable market. So that will make you this 8 minutes presentation very, very best presentation, so that people can understand and refer you with opportunities. Now, because we are putting a lot of efforts in meeting people, traveling to their networking space, meeting a lot of people, entire day you will be spending for that business networking. Correct. Now, if you are not completing on time with a proper call to action, it's completely counterproductive, where it will not be very useful for the entire day, and end of the day we'll get frustrated. Okay, I've joined business networking meeting, I've told everything, but people are not buying. That is a kind of scenario will happen, and we'll keep jumping to the other business networking things. That's how usually happens, where we say, okay, I'll go there, I'll give a presentation, come out. but presentation after presentation you will be giving, but nothing will turn out as a referral, because if you are not following this kind of sequence logical structure, taking minor things, then it becomes a counterproductive, and we'll keep imagining that why our product is not being referred. Maybe because, check your PPT slides whether it is giving too much of information or too complex or too technical. Those areas is what we have to rework, so that our 8 minutes presentation is very, very productive. So make sure the mock presentation which you are doing is limited with the time, and make sure you are explaining in a very, very simple way. So that's kind of aspect we have to do a lot of checklist. Now, coming to the final part, we have a PPT template of 8 minutes presentation, where whatever logical aspect which I have covered in the last 5 minutes, we have created a sample deck which can be used for any industry and any service, product, or business, because the template is already been created, which is the fill in the blanks kind of a format, where you just have to do only to fill the blanks with your own structure. Whatever I have spoken for last 1 hour, this has been covered in the template, and it can be like a step by step guide to craft a very, very standout speech in your business. So this comes with a bonus of um, LinkedIn podcast live, where I can offer 15 minutes of your time for my 37,000 global followers. So if you want to have that kind of a template, you can, I'll share the link. You can go for a 10% discount. You can, with OBN discount offer OBN 10, you can claim about 10% offer here within 48 hours. Till Monday, this offer will be there, where you will get a last minute presentation guide with the LinkedIn live podcast, which costs about 1,500. For OBN members, it will be 10% discount. It will be valid till March 17th, Monday. Now, coming to the conclusion, the room is open for Q&A. I'm sure this is going to be um, a group brainstorming where everybody have came across this particular experience, and I'm sure I will be having a lot of learnings from the fellow participants who are stalwarts in this business presentations, all that. So tell me which one made more complex, like which sections, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections we have seen. So which sections was very, very complicated during your last presentation, and maybe from there we can start.